Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where you get better at Magic together through a new draft video every weekday. And today, I'm so excited to play a arenadirect for The Hobbit. You've seen me win already one box of The Hobbit, as well as boxes in Dragonstorm, Tarkir, MTG Foundations, Avatar, Lorwyn, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Bloomburrow, Secrets of Strixhaven, Marvel. We already added The Hobbit to that list, but let's see if we cannot get 7 wins before our second loss and get a second collector booster box of The Hobbit mailed to our house. What will we open? I think the number one card you want to open is Arkenstone. Probably the best color pair is still Rakdos. White seems to be performing pretty strongly though. All right, what have we got here? Okay, really interesting collection of rares actually. Okay, so Beorn the Fierce, okay, it looks like it's a bear lord, but really what you should pay attention to here is it is a 6/6 trample for 5. Also, it turns things into bears and kind of slowly takes over the game. I think this was like the top performing green card. So yeah, okay, Beorn the Fierce. Okay, Thranduil's Company, 3/4 for 4. The important thing here is the landfall ability. Put a land in, and you get to put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. I've doubled down in the Valley. Just a saga that fixes your lands. Basically, anytime you're fixing your lands in sealed, you're probably happy. I'm guessing this card's pretty strong, but not the fastest card in the world. Chief Org's Company, I had in my deck that won a collector booster box. I had 2 of these and it was just as sick as you might imagine. Smaug, you might think this is like an absolute top bomb in the format. Oh, big legendary dragon that flies. 5/5 for 5 flying with basically no other ability. I mean, you can activate the like using treasure to draw a card, but really it's a 5/5 for 5 flying, which is like fine in sealed. Okay, not a fan of Desert Wereworm, not a fan of Bolg's Company. I don't think Stubborn Spiders is playable whatsoever in limited. And Orcrist, I mean, you have to sink 6 mana into this thing to give something +2/+2 and trample. Can't really imagine that that's strong. Okay, so I mean, very clearly super centered on green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rares I want to play. All of them touching green. So yeah, let's see if our green commons and uncommons come through for us. As you know, this is a learning channel for people who like learning. So today I'm trying something new. While I build the pool, you can click on the link in the description below to sealeddeck.tech and open the exact same pool. You can either pause the video and try to build the best deck that you can find, or you can watch the video and just try building it along with me. I try to keep pool building to the first 10 minutes or so of the video, but that gives you a bit of time to see what you would do if you were in my shoes. If you haven't used this site before, the top part is the whole sealed pool, and then the bottom part, you can just select a bunch of cards down and you can build it just like you would do on Arena. You can sort by mana value, by rarity, all sorts of stuff. I think trying to build the same pool as someone, comparing what the two of you do, and then getting to see how, you know, at least my games play out, is absolutely one of the best ways to get better at limited. So if you want to get better, I hope you'll try building along with me. Okay, so in white, wow, this is exactly what you want to see. We have basically nothing going on. I mean, I don't even like the Lake Town Lookout at all. Don't like Moment of Glory. Dwarven Provisioner is probably fine. Velvet. So basically what you want in sealed is once you see what your rares are and you see what colors they're centered on, you want every other color to be terrible because you do not want to be split across a whole bunch of different colors, right? And that's what we're seeing with white, so that makes me really happy. In blue, Lakeshore Apothecary Masters, Counselors, both cards that I like a lot. Plunder the Trollshaws. Actually, Confuscate and Be Bother, I think is probably good in sealed. Better in sealed than it is in draft by a long shot, I think. Then we have a little bit of removal, a counter. Ooh, Double Flyer. Actually, our blue's pretty good, unfortunately. Okay, in black, love the Night Howl Pursuer. I like the Ravening Warg as well. Double Stony Voice Goblins, just a straight up 2-for-1 in sealed. Bilbo's Deadly Slice and double Crude Bent Blade. Okay, there's a lot to like in our black. Unfortunately, no Desolation Prowler, but down to Goblin Town. I even bought the skin for it because I like this card so much. Yeah, absolutely very happy to find that one. Double Rage into the Valley. I like that as well. Oh, yeah, actually, I think Reverent Howl is probably fine in sealed. Basically, every black card is good, eh? That's The Hobbit, everyone. Okay, all right, now in red. Okay, Gathering of Darkness, totally fine. Okay, in red, Dwarven Mauler. Yeah, a little bit too synergistic. I think Goblin Town Flunkies has not been performing in the sealed format. Kind of expectedly, you know, this type of like super aggro card is usually much better in draft. Okay, Pinecone Strike, because it requires like a shell of a deck that converts the like lack of individual card power into a win, right? Double Pinecone Strike is really nice. Ragged Shortspear I think is perfectly fine. Owen, Snowslope Hunter, Gloin I think is actually not bad in sealed. Misty Mountains Raider I love. I might be splashing that one along with Smaug. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, green. This is the big question. I don't love Guardian of the Halls, but it's playable. We have a double Wargling. Okay, so we're there on 2 drops, right? Woodland Weavemaster, actually, there's a bit of an elf thing going on, right? Because we also had the, wherever it is, the Thranduil. Double down into the valley, so this is going to help me fix into a different color. Little bear. Okay, can I do a bear theme? And I have an ordinary bear. Can I actually do bears.deck? That would be so awesome. I mean, playing little bear is such a huge concession in power. Unfortunately, probably I'm not supposed to do that. But hey, it is possible. Could basically play all of those cards. Okay, and then I don't know about Beorn. Okay, then we have Goblin Plate Mail is basically a black card. We have Chief Warg's Company as well as the Chief Warg. That's pretty sweet. Chief Warg is like good so long as you can immediately get off an attack. Then we have the Smaug, which I almost certainly do want to splash, and Large Bear. I'm in for the Large Bear. So. And then actually Long-Bodied Grey Dog and Thor's Map are real. And we actually have pretty good lands like Goblin Town and Elven King's Halls. I both am very likely to play. So basically, I would say it's just like very clearly something in the Sultai space. We have absolutely 0 pull into white. Kind of unfortunate to get these, you know, Bard the Bowmans and whatever. But you know what? We have just no pulls into white whatsoever. Kind of impressively few white cards. And yeah, I think we'll splash blue for Thranduil's Company probably, because I think this card actually is just strong. You would like to have Hobbit Hole or whatever, the Evolving Wilds to get double landfall triggers. We don't have that, but that's okay. And then yeah, I mean, we're going to be building around like Beorn the Fierce, Chief Warg's Company, and Thranduil's Company. And probably that means I have a minor red splash. Maybe that red splash includes the Misty Mountains Raider, maybe not. But yeah, I think I could splash like 1 island, 1 mountain, and just build the best green-black deck I can build. It seems pretty straightforward. I will say the set overall seems a little bit straightforward. It worries me a little bit sometimes how straightforward things seem, but I'm pretty sure that's just what the deck is supposed to be. Also, in case anyone thinks I was not kidding, you should not do the bear build around thing. The reason that Beorn the Fierce is good is it actually doesn't need you to have any other bears. So my best green-black, splashing blue, splashing red deck looks something like this. So I think there's a question, there are a few questions. I do think splashing into blue and splashing into red is perfectly feasible. I have a dual land that touches each of those colors. And then in terms of ways of fixing, I have double down into the valley, Long-Bodied Grey Dog, a Thor's Map, which I'm pretty inclined to play, and technically I guess Smaug. I also kind of like, I don't know if it's a ramp deck exactly, because I don't really have any ways of producing mana on the cheaper side, and I'm not going to run my Wood Elves. But I think the curve is looking pretty nice. The problem is like, how far in do I go with the red splash? So I kind of want to play, as long as I'm playing Smaug, I also want to be playing the Misty Mountains Raiders, help me out with just another top end card. And then I also want to play the Pinecone Strike if I have access to double Pinecone Strike. That seems pretty sweet. The question is though, like, well, maybe I could treat it as more likely to be something that gets played on turn 4, but I need to make 2 cuts and I could just cut the Pinecone Strikes. But honestly, I would say I might just be more inclined to cut like some random 2-drops, because the thing is, this is probably not a beatdown deck. If I get a little bit more streamlined, like cut, I don't know, a Thor's Map and a Pinecone Strike or something, and just get more consistently assertive across 2 colors, then maybe I can be a bit more of a curve out and beat down style of deck. The question is that better? I mean, I know it's a very fast assertive format. It is very possible that I just shouldn't be splashing blue, and Thranduil's Company is not worth the hit to my mana of having a whole extra basic. But I just think, I mean, I gotta do something with these down in the valleys, right? Maybe I don't need the Thor's Map if I also have double down in the valley. There is an issue of curve though. Like if I start cutting too many things on 2, then we do get pretty clogged on 3 drops. Yeah, much to consider. Okay, I took it offline for a while. I cooked, and I have a brew that I'm actually pretty excited about. So I did look at more like streamlined Rakdos. I spent a long time thinking about cutting the blue splash. But you know me, for a control player who's also a spike, I am such a Timmy, and especially in these Winabox events, I love nothing more than just a stompy, Golgari, rampy curve out deck. Okay, I have a bit of an unlimited splash going on, but overall, I think I've come up with something where the name of the game is consistency. So let's set aside the splash for a moment and just look at the absolute core of the deck. We have probably like 9 green sources. We have 6 black sources. But then you also have to add in like the double down in the valley. I'm doubling down on down in this deck, and also the Thrower's Map. So that's like 9-ish black sources if I really need them. And then I kind of realized with Thrower's Map and Down in the Valley, 3 ways of tutoring up lands, aren't I going to have a lot of lands sitting around in my hand? So that got me to think about Beorn Reluctant Host, which I have 3 of. Now, this card is currently way down in the doldrums on 17 lands. It is, I believe, a Z minus. For us Canadians, that would be a Z minus. For the Americans, a Z minus. You didn't know that there were grades below F, but they invented them just for Beorn Reluctant Host. Having said that, I kind of think there are specific concrete play patterns that make this not a bad plan. So usually you would want to have a lot of 4-drops if you're playing this card, but I think there could be situations where, for example, I have a Down in the Valley and a Beorn in my hand. You know, I play the Down, and then the Beorn helps me subsequently to get lands out of my hand. Or you can play Beorn on turn 2, put down a 3rd land. Turn 4, I play Down, fetch a land. I get to play that land immediately. I think if I have Beorn, I can basically Beorn plus either Thrower's Map or Down. So that's one of this card that I have 3 of and one of this effect that I have 3 of. Then I can basically always be playing a 5-drop on turn 4, which sounds like a nice way to catch up from the slow starts that this deck will probably have. My 4-drop slot is weak. I wish that I had more strong 4-drops, but I really want to keep the red splash to an absolute minimum and also the blue splash to an absolute minimum. So for example, I mean, I'm not playing Smaug in this build because I think it's just worse than all of my other 5-drops. It doesn't do what Beorn does for me. And other than that, my 4-drops are like Gloin, which is probably my best 4-drop in my pool. And it's mainly good if you can like get the adventure off in a good way. And Ordinary Bear, which I just think is not good. I don't know, maybe Long Leg Nuisance is the best 4-drop, but we're not doing that. Anyways, I just think this is like a way cooler plan than playing some random Warglings, and I can't really take turn 2 off. And this is just the kind of beatdown style of Golgari that has just won me boxes in the past. So this is a very unlimited splash approach. I think I am going to splash the blue because I just think it's just so easy to do when I'm already playing 2 Down in the Valleys and a Thrower's Map and I have an Elven King's Halls. But at the first sign of trouble, I'm going to cut it. So I know this is a build that basically nobody else would put together, patching together a lot of not very good cards like Beorn and Chief Org. I'm not certain that the Pinecone Strikes are so necessary. Maybe I could go lower on the red splash or eliminate the red splash altogether. I'm not totally certain about like Night Howl Pursuer, for example, or Goblin Plate Mail. There's some still kind of random inclusions. But overall, I'm pretty enthusiastic about the deck. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And it's just exactly the style of deck that I like to play. So let's see how it goes. While we jump into game 1, I want to say thank you so much to all of our esteemed channel members. Iron Spider at the top there is the person who joined as a channel member since the last time I recorded. If you do want to get better at Magic with me every day, make sure that every weekday, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and consider joining as a member. If you click join on the channel page, you can see our list of member perks. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you know, this is what we built the deck to do, right? Turn 1 Elven King's Halls. Turn 2, we're going to do a Stony Voice Goblins. Turn 3, Down in the Valley is going to get us our 4th color. So hopefully we don't get run over. But there's a Chief Org's Company to keep us company. So that might actually be my turn 3 play. Okay, we're playing against potentially Orzhov. That's very interesting. All right, and then we actually have... Oh, okay, not sure I've ever done that before. I straight up accidentally closed the window in the middle of playing, you know, Winabox event, but no harm done. Okay, we just started to use our timer. My bad. And the opponent thinks that we're such a thoughtful person that, you know, we really had to ponder whether or not to play Swamp Stony Voice Goblins. Okay, we picked off a Planeslayer. That's good. Swinging in with their Vigilance creature. Net 0 information for me. They clearly have another land because they pitched a Plains. And then, okay, all right, Rage into the Valley. Okay, interesting. We have an interesting choice. So I could play Chief Org's Company. Basically, if I'm worried, I can play Chief Org's Company. Plus, I can play Chief Org's Company. But it will probably just eat a removal spell. If I'm worried, I can play Crude Bent Blade and just try not to get run over. If I just want to set up, we would go for Down in the Valley. And I think I'm in a setting up frame of mind. So basically, like, Forest, Down in the Valley, fetch a Mountain. Next turn, I play Mountain Thror's Map plus Pinecone Strike. Then we get to play like Thranduil's Company. We're spinning out elf tokens for down in the valley. I think I want to do that and just make sure that I hit all of my lands. But I guess actually, does it really matter? Because Chief Org's Company kind of demands removal, right? And next turn I can Thror's Map. I'm actually going to send out the Chief Org's Company here. It's very likely going to just eat a Pinecone Strike. But the thing is, next I can Thror's Map, find a mountain for the Pinecone Strike. And if they can't remove Chief Org's Company, we're just so far out ahead. So basically just make them have it, is my philosophy here. It also prevents them from building their board farther. Oh, you know what's going to happen is find a land, play the land, and Pinecone Strike me. That seems most likely now. Oh, that would be unfortunate. But this does demand that they have specifically Pinecone Strike, right? Oh, I guess there's also stone. The stone. Okay, all right, there we go. Make them have it. They didn't have it. And I think we can just go... Can I just play Thranduil's Company now? I think so, right? Land Thranduil's Company. The only thing about Thranduil's Company... Oh, maybe I should have thought before I played that land in particular, because I guess I could have gone Thror's Map into Mountain. But basically, the only thing about Thranduil's Company is if I play it on turn 5 and I draw land, then I get to immediately put the counters on. But the thing is, they do not have removal. We know that now, right? Because they would have killed Chief Org's Company. That's a higher priority for them to get rid of than the Thranduil's Company. All the companies, every company is on my side in this game. Tidings of War, that's value. Just discard a Tidings of War. Thankfully, it's kind of hard to give your Goblin army trample. So if it gets really big, I can always chump it with a Stony Voice Goblins. Okay, so I can go... I actually will be able to play an additional land once I start getting elves. Dory is fine. So I think I want to play down in the valley, fetch a mountain, play the mountain, play Thror's Map. Something can gain vigilance. Put counters on the wolf, I assume. Oh, that's kind of cool. Can I go... Oh, okay. I love my deck. I love my deck. So can I go Thror's Map, fetch a land? Yeah, Beorn kind of does nothing for me here, right? Yeah, so I think I just go Thror's Map, fetch a mountain, play the mountain. Put the counters on the wolf, attack with the wolf. Don't really want to attack with Org's Company. All right. Thror's Map, fetch a mountain, play the mountain. Oh, my deck is awesome. This is how I like to play Magic. I don't know if this is all technically correct. Put the counters on the wolf. It gains vigilance. All right. Go to attacks. Oh, I have to pay a cost. Oh, I kind of forgot about that, didn't I? Would I rather play down in the valley? Yeah. All right. No attacks. No attacks. I'm not allowed to attack. I just actually didn't notice that they got their story online. That's really funny. All right. And then I'll fetch a... Probably... do I need a second black if I want to play... Okay, so I can play my bear. I want the second black to play Bilbo's Deadly Slice. So yeah, it's got to be the second black, right? Yeah, we can just scoop up a second swamp here. All right. Unfortunately, I do not have another elf, so I cannot play an additional land. If I somehow manage to draw 2 lands, I could play both of them because I'm about to get an elf. Oh, unless they can kill Thranduil's Company. You'd rather kill that than Chief Org? Interesting. I think I'm more scared of a 2/2 every turn than 2+1/1 counters, aren't I? So I guess I'm surprised by that. All right, I'll go ahead and play a swamp and get my elf. And then... Do I just go Crude Bent Blade and just attack with a bunch of wolves? I can actually shoot Dory. We really need to convert this to a win somehow. So, rest in peace, Thranduil's Company. I liked having that card around. I mean, one thing I could do is shoot Dane, then Crude Bent Blade, but then they get to keep Dory. Yeah, there's no way to arrange... Actually, okay. All right, I think I see it. So I'm going to start with a crude bent blade, see what they sacrifice. I mean, that Smaug is also... I won't say it's scary, but it's maybe very slightly scary. So now, for example, I could Pinecone Strike Dory and get to attack with my 4/4, but let's say that that's not the most important thing in the world. Maybe I just stick the bent blade on this 2/2. And set up a Night Howl Pursuer, and then next turn I'm just attacking with basically everything because I'm going to Pinecone Strike. I guess the Pursuer is not the most important thing in the world. Let's go in with a single 4/4, pay the cost. Yeah, Dane is pretty good. I'm just trying to unlock, like, they don't know that I have a removal spell right now, and I'm just trying to unlock a situation where I get to shoot the Dane and just attack with everything, basically. So if they get another land, they can play their Smaug. Another mountain, specifically. Oh, wait, no. Actually, they could have played their Smaug this turn. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I could blow up the treasure with Pinecone Strike. That's kind of cool. Okay, so I wonder what they have. Okay, so elves I control get +1/+0 and vigilance this turn. So why don't we start with a Pinecone Strike, shooting Dane and blowing that thing up just to give myself some opportunity to make some real attacks here. Yeah, I'm kind of wishing that I had been able to press an advantage earlier. Okay, they made a white mana. Oh, you know what that means. What they're representing right now is 2 and 2 white, exile all attacking creatures target player controls. So let's not give them a very good one. I think maybe I just attack with like one creature. Would I like to have 2 basics? It doesn't really matter that much to me. I still want them to have to play it, though. Oh? No, it's something else. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, okay, don't need to play around the rare, then. I'm happy to go to combat. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like the idea of shrinking their pool of blockers. Because if Crude Bent Blade can hit Smaug, that would be wonderful for me. I'm not going to offer trading off Chief Org's Company, though. That just does not seem like a good plan. 1 block. Wow, that's bold. Okay. Yeah, I think I might as well just play the Night Howl Pursuer. Maybe I go ahead and re-equip the Bent Blade onto... let's say Stony Voice Goblins, just make an extra scary attacker there. I mean, if they play Smaug, I win, right? And if they play Tidings of War, I win. All right. They're not going to play anything. Another Beorn. Yeah, okay. Beorn looking a little awkward, I'll admit. All right, next. Next. So, let's see. I don't really want to risk my Chief Org's Company, but I don't care that much about basically any of my creatures. They don't seem to have exile all attacking creatures target player controls. But let's just keep back our 4/4. I don't really know what they have, and I kind of want to not overextend. I'm still a little scared of exile all attacking creatures target player controls. I'll admit that. They spooked me a little bit, so I might be playing too passively now. But the fact that I have 2 5/5 tramples and a removal spell in my hand and repeatable card selection in the Thror's map makes me feel like I can take a moment. And this still has them dead on board. They need to show me something. They need to spend something. Okay, so it is Settle the Wreckage. Yeah, they were trying to trick me. All right. Well, I get to take like a million lands out of my deck. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's so funny. They actually did have Settle the Wreckage. Oh, you know what? Maybe they weren't able to keep the mana until the attacker's step. That might be what happened. All right, well, I'll just go ahead and play a 5/5 trample. I mean, still feeling pretty good about this. I got to keep my Worg's Company. I have several lethal attackers. Oh, and you had a Pinecone Strike? Wow. Okay, then. Sure. All right, so next turn I can do everything. 8, 9, 10, 11 lands. So, okay, hi Bilbo's Deadly Slice. Yeah, why don't we just go Bilbo's Deadly Slice plus Bent Blade. It's so funny that they actually had Settle the Wreckage. I guess they made the white and then realized that they couldn't keep the white lying around until we went to the Declare Attackers step because they made it one phase earlier. But that put Settle the Wreckage in my mind. And then I correctly played around it because they had done that. So I guess they gave me a little bit more info than they were planning to. It did end up close, but pretty good for a game where I closed the client in the middle of the game for no reason. All right. Well, 1-0 in spite of ourselves. On to the next one. Also, I'll just say I definitely like the Beorns there more than I would have liked having Warglings or whatever. All right, this is an awesome hand, actually, isn't it? Beorn, why are you so bad in the win rate data? Come on, what an awesome card. So I play Elven King's Hall's Forest Beorn Goblin Town. My opponent immediately thinks they're winning because it's just so absolutely off the rails. Unfortunately, this is the awkward thing about Beorn. Now we do not get ramped into either Beorn or Misty Mountain Raiders. But we're closer. We're closer. Sackville Bagginses. When they enter, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, draw a card and make a treasure. When you sack a token, target opponent loses 1 life. So it's on entry. I'm just making sure that it doesn't have like an attack ability. So they can like be draining me, but other than that, I don't super care about it, right? I'm going to go with Down in the Valley because the odds that they have a removal spell are, are pretty high. And then I think I'm getting a swamp, right? In case I draw Bilbo's Deadly Slice. I think it's got to be a swamp. Yeah, I'm going to have double green. And I also want to untether my red from my black. I don't want to have to ever choose between, like, do I want to play Chief Warwick's Company or Pinecone Strike just because it's the same land that produces red and black. Okay. So now I'm going to play a land and make a 1/1, and let's go ahead and just land Beorn. Because with Misty Mountain Raiders, you really want to be able to attack right after playing it, right? And then we're going to go Chief Warg plus Pinecone Strike probably. Okay, that's fine. I still get to attack. So this is destroy an artifact. So I better not play an artifact. Yeah, no blocks. So now my elf is going to get +1 vigilance. So there we go. There's Bilbo's Deadly Slice. I think I actually go Misty Mountain Raiders. Again, the name of the game is to use their removal on things that are not the Chief Warwick's Company. Is my deck awesome? My deck is just awesome, right? Another Burn Tree and Fern. That's nutty. I wonder what they're going to play with all of those mana. I would definitely block. Okay. Too bad that I don't have a land here. I kind of do just want to play another Beorn instead of... So Chief Warwick's Company, I can't really double spell. I could double spell if I could double spell Pinecone Strike in Chief Warwick's Company. I think I just play the Beorn. Isn't that what this deck is all about? Playing Beorns and having fun. So in with the team. All right. They're going to trade with the army. That works very nicely for me. And then let's just play a big chunky guy, which is what our deck is supposed to do. I might be playing it a little bit too precious with my Chief Warwick's Company, but come on, they're in Rakdos. They probably have so much removal to get out of their hand. And the more that they use it on random Beorns, the happier I am, I think. I cannot pop either of my utility lands, which is a little bit awkward. And my elves are also looking pretty awkward now. But okay. This is the part of the game where... Oh, 1 damage to all my stuff? Oh, that's a little annoying. This is a part of the game where I feel more favored against Rakdos, right? Goblin Plate Mill. I was worried... For a second, I was worried it was a crude bent blade. All right. That doesn't help me pop either of my utility lands? Okay. All right, well, in with Beorn. Play Chief Warwick's Company. I think I actually hold the land for if I draw like Thranduil or something. And then we're probably going to be Pinecone Striking their Gloin if they play that. I mean, now they get to play like, they just get to empty their hand, right? They have 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Oh, they could play Glowing at a 4-drop, 8 mana now. Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, everyone's almost out of cards at this point. Gundabad Opportunist. Yeah, that's a good one for them, but I'm about to have a lot of 2/2s. Owen the Brave, okay, it's not a Pinecone Strike. Scared me for a moment when I saw the 1 and a red mana cost. Yeah, double burn is like pretty strong, right? But I'm definitely the beatdown, and I have a fistful of removal. So they're only going to want to play Owen, yeah, if they have another 2-drop that they can double spell with, but now they have another turn to play that and whatever else is in their hand. So I've got to shoot Glowing over Gundabad Opportunist, right? Gundabad Opportunist trades with a wolf token. Oh, down to Goblin Town. What a top deck. That's pretty awesome. This card is so busted. I love this card. Okay, what are we gonna get rid of here? So when it enters, this guy can shoot. Okay, what specifically could this do? Yeah, I think I definitely just take Bolg because it has an enters effect. The bear, I can just Deadly Slice. So I could go in with Beorn and just make the double trade. Then I have a Deadly Slice left over. I'm amassing and draining. Yeah, I think I'm not even going to use Deadly Slice. I'll just offer the double trade. You like have to block it, right? I mean, what happens if I do Deadly Slice, then 4 tramples over, and they're actually dead if they play the bear next turn? Okay, I think I actually do shoot the Opportunist, because this way, 4 damage would trample over, putting them to 5. Then either Chief Orcs Company or Beorn is a lethal attacker. Actually, no, because if I don't do it, I put them to 7, and I can force a block from Owen. So actually, I think I just let this happen. I think I actually just let this happen. For very specific, concrete reasons, which is, now if they play Large Bear plus Owen, and I shoot the Large Bear, which I don't have the mana to do on their turn, but I can do it on my turn. Now I get to attack with both Chief Orcs Company, which can attack next turn because I'll have 2 wolves, and this wolf token. They have to block probably the Wargs Company with Owen, because otherwise they're dead to just Goblin Town, purely just Goblin Town. So shoot this guy. Next, in with both. Yeah, I feel very good about this decision. Now you're dead on board to Goblin Town. So I'm not sure that was correct. All right, I'll go ahead and get a island. Yeah, because then I can also pop a land. Yeah, they were dead on board in several different ways. All right, 2-0. I actually love my deck. I'm sure if I don't draw my lands, then we're in trouble, but it's been smooth so far, knock on wood. 2-0, on to the next one. So this hand is like weirdly so keepable, right? I mean, I can go Elven King's Halls. Okay, we'll see if we draw a land or not. I mean, I'm definitely going to keep it. Elven King's Halls. On 2, I kind of want to go Beorn, play an extra land. And then maybe on 3, can I go Beorn and Thror's Map? Beorn, land, Thror's Map. Yeah, now that I have all these lands, I think I can, right? So I'm going to go Swamp, Till Intend, play a land. It's a little awkward, but you know, that's... Now I'm going to be ahead on lands. Okay. Ooh, missing a land, you say. Okay, so I think I go Thror's Map. So I could just play Chief Org, but I think I want to play Chief Org when I already have a Beorn out. Ideally, like, play Beorn first. So I think it's just... Right, because this is good if you, like, immediately attack and get the card back in case they just pew Pinecone Strike it or something. So, okay, I'm going to go Thror's Map. Go ahead and find a mountain, because that's my only missing color. It'll let me play my Pinecone Strike. Everything should be good. All right, grab my mountain. Play the mountain. Play another Beorn. This is so good. And then play a land. It didn't super accelerate me because now I'm probably going to play Beorn next turn. And I would need to draw my only 1-drop to double spell and make use of all this extra mana. So what's going on over there? My opponent maybe is like white blue or something, and they're just awkwardly missing their lands. But okay, I'm just going to play a land and let's Beorn it up. If they have like Celebrate the Mountain King or something, I start to fall behind. But next turn, I actually can double spell Beorn plus Pinecone Strike if they remove this Beorn. If they don't remove this Beorn, okay, it's just summon the card into existence, why don't you? Yeah, that's pretty depressing. I mean, this is such a cracked card. But, you know, I could also just go Beorn and then Thror's Map. You're always happy to loot. I'm down to 14 now, so I need to start keeping an eye on that life total of mine. So I think we go 1, 2, 3. I don't want to look too conspicuous about this. Play a land, play Beorn. Hold up Pinecone Strike. Hold up Thror's Map. I also need to be careful about, you know, if they get to 8, they can save this from Pinecone Strike, or if they play a 3-3 Galleon, you say, okay, sure. All right, go to my turn. Well, I'm going to loot. Probably just pitching the forest. Oh, Bilbo's Deadly Strike is a very nice one. Okay, let's think for a second. I mean, what I'm tempted to do is Chief Warg, Bilbo's Deadly Strike the Galleon, get a card back. Is there like any reason not to do that? They do have hexproof mana up. The one in a green, destroy a flyer, gives something hexproof and a counter. So, but I really just don't see a good reason not to just go Chief Warg, attack. Oh, they might have Stone by Sunlight, I guess, or Stone by whatever it is. But yeah, I'm gonna attack. Okay, it looks like they do have a removal spell before combat. Oh, if it's a bite spell, I'm thrilled. Oh, just make sure. Okay, they're targeting Galleon. Yeah, no thank you. Oh, Brutality itself. In with Beorn. Lose one, draw. Oh, my deck is so awesome. Now, if they can get rid of my Beorn, they do turn off Chief Warg, but okay. Technically, I can equip the Chief Warg, right? I can suit it up, and then it's a creature with power 4 or greater. Can get me some cards back that way. I'll definitely just take that. I wonder if they'll just make it 3 damage. No, so they have something else in their hand. Okay. I mean, I kind of want to just go Goblin Plate Mail suited up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean... Okay, let's actually play this land first so that I always have access to Pinecone Strike. So Goblin Plate Mail, suit up the Warg. It costs 4 to equip, right? So I'm going to suit up the Warg. I wonder if they have another removal spell here. In with the Warg. Draw one, lose one. Yes. Double down. Doubling down on down. All right. I can probably just throw one of those away to Thor's Map. They do get kind of good in multiples, but you need lands to make sure that your elves hit. So I think throwing one of them away sounds reasonable. Oh, right. A gamer. A gamer. I didn't know you were a gamer all along. I think I take another hit of the Provisioner. I think I'm the beatdown now, right? I wonder if they'll just hold it back to... Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's go ahead and loot. I think that's better than just firing off a Pinecone Strike. Crude Bent Blade. Yes, please. All right, I don't actually need both downs. Okay, that's a pretty awesome one. So I can go... First, let's do the Blade. Okay, this is awesome. I love my deck. By the way, I have my lucky Graphalon here, my hungry Graphalon, for the gamers who remember when I won that Secrets of Strixhaven Collector booster box with a double Graphalon deck. That was another like D- or F level, just green chunky guy in that format. It was the Beorn of that format, if you will. The real unlimited splash heads will remember when I won the Avatar play boosters with Earth Rumble Wrestlers, which was another green chunky guy of that format. All right. Yeah, that went pretty well. All right, 3-0. I got almost half my gems back. On to the next one. This hand looks good to me. I mean, I don't have access to Pinecone Strike mana, but I will as soon as I down in the valley. G4X Company is so sick. Down to Goblin Town can actually clear the way for the company. If they are a highly aggressive deck, it could be trouble for me, because I have nothing to do until turn 3. But Goblin Town's a pretty good turn 3, right? A mass goblins too. Okay, so a 2/2 for 2. I've seen scarier things. Yeah, let's go down to Goblin Town just to see if they have removal for the Chief Orcs Company. Okay, so Bilbo's Deadly Slice is the only removal here. Yeah, let's just get rid of that. I mean, I could have gotten rid of Dory, but... Look, I'm about to amass goblins and get some HP back. If they don't find a removal spell, I feel really good about Orcs Company. Down to Goblin Town is actually an awesome draw. So yeah, spit out. I'm not missing anything here, right? Yep. All right, Chief Orcs Company, play the tap land. And then I have access to Pinecone Strike. Next turn, I can go down in the valley, Pinecone Strike. Down to Goblin Town is going to get me some HP back. We'll just see if they drew spot removal among these two cards. If they didn't, feeling pretty good. Technically, they would have had to play Dory to unlock the Deadly Slice, but the odds that they draw Swamp are higher than the odds that they draw a removal spell. I'll definitely not be blocking this. They're representing, if I blocked the 2/2 with the Chief Orcs Company, they would give it +2/+2. So I could take 7 damage here. I think that's okay. I'm effectively at 15 HP, unless they kill me in the next 2 turns. I do kind of need to find something. Well, not really, because I can always just block the Goblin with multiple Wolf tokens. I guess the danger is if in all these 4 cards plus whatever they draw next turn, if they found spot removal. Okay, so I'm going to go down in the valley, find an island and play it, right? I wish I could attack with the Orcs Company because it's definitely not blocking here. Then actually the question is, should I just shoot their treasure while they can't use it? I think the answer is no. I have 3 lands for the last 2 turns of down in the valley. Yeah. All right. I'm expecting that they found some removal. It's Rakdos. Yeah, okay, and popping the treasure doesn't matter so much anymore. Yeah, that's removal. Okay, this might be the game that ends our little streak. Oh wait, hold on. Gandalf Sparkstarter still dies to Pinecone Strike, so I shouldn't despair just yet. But I do need to find some good cards, right? Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, Gandalf Sparkstarter is so strong. But I have a lot of good cards in my deck. I need to stop drawing lands. That's one thing. No more lands, please. All right, so I'll block there. And then I think I do just use my mana. Kill the Gandalf Sparkstarter. I think trading 2 mana up on that is just too good a deal to resist. But no more lands, please. Well, Beorn's actually kind of good here, right? Drain you for 1. I have double landfall. So can I do the double landfall thing, or do I just play Beorn? I would take 2 more from this guy. The other thing is, well, all the elves would get +1 in vigilance, so I can actually start a bit of a clock. I don't know, I'm a bit worried about if they just play a land, play the 4/4, it would be really nice to have a 5/5. 1, 2. Wait, I can play 2 lands this turn. So I go land, make a 1/1. Sorry, I was thinking about a trade-off that doesn't exist. Beorn, you did it again. You beautiful, beautiful Beorn. I get to play another land, play Beorn. So funny. Okay, that's pretty awesome. I undercounted by 1, so I thought I had to choose between playing it out and adventuring it. All right, you got my land. You got my land. So they didn't want to play their great ugly goblin, apparently. I cannot pop the Goblin Town, unfortunately, but I can attack with Beorn. Ooh, Crude Bent Blade. That's strong, isn't it? So I think what I do is play the blade, put the blade maybe on the 1/1 goblin, and then attack with everything. Yeah, that sounds correct. So you're gonna sack your 1/1, put the blade on the 1/1. Yeah. 1 on top. Oh, that's obviously terrifying to me. 1 on top is really scary stuff. But okay, go in with the team. They trade a 2/2 for a 1/1, a 2/2 for a 1/1, and put them to 7. They scry their thing to the top again. But yeah, the fact that it's going to the top is definitely really bad news for me. Let's just put this on the... Let's just spread out the love a little bit. Because next turn that's going to be attacking for 4 damage. Very likely I'm going to re-equip. We'll see. Oh, you got another ugly looking goblin. I guess they put that on top because they have a 4 or a 5 drop in their hand. Ooh, Misty Mountain Raiders. Hello. Hello, old friend. So I think I actually re-equip probably. So I'm going to play the Raiders. What do they have? Bilbo's Deadly Slice? So maybe I just don't re-equip. Well, I kind of feel like they have a removal spell. Otherwise, they probably would have just played their big goblin, right? So yeah, I'm going to not re-equip the blade. I assume I don't get to go to attacks. And they're going to remove something. No? Oh, well, now I wish I had re-equipped. If only this were an army. Okay. And then you kill Beorn. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't re-equip then, because I would have just gotten the life gain. Okay, and then I'll put this on... Yeah, probably on the army. There is a good argument for putting it on the trampler, actually, and I'm about to amass 2 when I attack, supposing that they don't, like... They're gonna have to play a goblin next turn, right? So I'm gonna put this on the trampler. They have to play a goblin, because if they do spot removal and kill the Misty Mountain Raiders, they're dead on board. And if they play a goblin, they're also now dead on board. The thing is, this is gonna attack as a 4/4 anyways. Even if they kill Beorn, this gets to attack as a 4/4, because I probably just attack with both. Misty Mountain Raider, that doesn't do it. All right, hey, there you go. It was a highly aggressive deck. They did have very nice, efficient removal for my Chief Org's company, and yet we still managed to get the win. Definitely, that was the first time that I felt that my deck had the classic ramp deck problem of petering out a little bit, but hey, we got there. We're now 4-0, and we basically got our gems back for the event, so everything else from here on out is gravy. I get to play another arenadirect, which, you know, I'll post that tomorrow, very likely, without paying any more money, so... You know, I don't love this hand. It can't fetch a mountain, but I get to go I get to play Beorn fast. I guess that's good. So yeah, it is an awkward hand, I have to admit. Okay, double Beorn. Double Beorn. I do play this instead of the Warg, right? Yeah, I'll play this instead of the Warg. Now, I do need to draw another land for the other Beorn to matter and for me to actually ramp my way up into a Beorn properly. Yeah, that's awkward. Beorn, this is Beorn's first time really letting me down. Misty Mountain Raider, I don't know, maybe this hand should have just been a mulligan. This is super awkward. Are you gonna Pinecone Strike my Warg? Yeah. Yeah. That's looking awkward. I have a Misty Mountain Raider stuck in my hand. Actually, everything is stuck in my hand. Oh, man. I mean, this is the one time when I didn't see my downs or my throwers map. If they just play one creature, I can Bent Blade it. Okay, all right. So they're dealing with some awkwardness of their own. All right, so get rid of that Golem, please. I'll play a Night Howl Pursuer, but I really want to draw a land now for real. 3 5-drops stuck in my hand. This is when the ramp plane goes awry. This happens every so often in ramp decks. If I just natural a mountain, I'm feeling really good though, right? Oh, that's not a mountain, but it's not the worst card I ever saw. It's also not a land. Well, you have Menace, and you're not going to get anything from me playing Thranduil's Company, so let's start by attacking with the Night Howl Pursuer. And then, yeah, just plunk down the Thranduil's Company. Now a land is so good. Now a land would be so good. But I imagine they have removal sitting in their hand because they are a Jund deck as well with all their mana under them. They could also just have like a Smaug or something. Stir up trouble. Honestly, that's fine just because I have so much going on. I just need to find a land, please. Oh, that's like the worst land that I could find. Yeah, this is not my best work. All right, well, suit this guy up. Combat. In with both. You know, I could have actually held back the Stony Voice Goblins and equipped the blade onto the Goblins to hold back damage. That actually was smart. That actually would have been smarter, wouldn't it? Yeah, I wish I'd done that. Okay, hi, Gandalf. I mean, obviously bad for me, but now I can just start playing like Beorn, and that holds these guys back pretty well. But yeah, I mean, my clock is pretty low if they just have like removal spell and then draw another removal spell. Great ugly looking goblin. Yeah, this is looking bad for me, isn't it? But okay, we'll just go Beorn, land, and I'm holding them back. But if they play the great ugly looking goblin, they do have menace. But you know what? They only get to attack for 2 here. And then I can play the Misty Mountain Raider. So now the question is, do I just play the Misty Mountain Raider and Beorn it up? I can't play my other Beorn. So yeah, I mean, I think let's just play the Raider, attack with Beorn. The Raider doesn't hold back their guys, but then they're dead to my next attack. I can block the 3-2 and I take 10, going really low. I mean, I think it's just tactical racing magic now. All right, there we go. That's actually what I hoped to see, because that means that they probably did not have a removal spell in their hand. Probably means another creature. All right, they're not cycling it for a halfling. I guess I'm glad to see that. No landfall triggers in their deck is what this tells me. So next turn, we're just going to drop a Beorn. And so I think what I can do is, do I just put the bent blade on the 2-2, attack with just the 2-2 as a 6-5? Hold back the Misty Mountain Raider, then I play a Beorn. That sounds good, right? I could also offer the trade of the Misty Mountain Raider, but I just don't see a reason to do that when I'm holding a Beorn in my hand. If they have removal, it's going to hit the Misty Mountain Raider, right? So in with the army. Oh, Raider is so good. This card is just so good. So in with the army. I'm really glad that I'm splashing it and not Smaug. Smaug would be a lot worse here, I think. Reverent Howl, draw 2 Lucio. Oh, so they decided to do that instead of getting some lifelink online. That's interesting. That's actually really interesting. I guess I can see it. Going to 6. Holy smokes. Does that mean that they're thinking about just pushing lethal? Well, I think I have a different idea, if that's your game plan. Now all of my stuff is almost lethal. I can down in the valley, find a mountain. 1, 2, 3, play the mountain and pop Goblin Town to make Misty Mountain Raider a lethal attacker, for example. Misty Mountain's cold. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. That's not going to be relevant for a while. Better on turn 3, that card. So let's think for a second. I wonder if they have a Gandalf Spark. Do they have another Gandalf Spark starter? They have exact mana and they're highlighting everything. Okay, build those at least slice. That's. I think I have to assume that's the only thing that they have going on. So I think I go 1, 2, 3, find the mountain, play the mountain, put 2 counters. Can I put them on? I can only put them on the army, and I cannot re-equip the blade onto Beorn and do that. If I re-equip the blade, the army attacks as a 4/4. But I really don't want to give them the opportunity of just chumping. Goblin or orc you control. Sucks that they killed my other goblin. Beorn, why aren't you an orc? I thought you were the perfect card. It's a shapeshifter, but it's not a changeling. Come on, wizards. Yeah, okay, so I think I just go with my original plan. They have to double block. Or, sorry. They have to block the goblin army no matter what. If I pump it, it's actually immune to double blocking, which means they're probably just chumping it. So I'll put the counters there. I have all my mana, so I don't care about that. And it means I do get to go in with Beorn. They could have like deal 3 or something. I'm not dead on the crackback or anything. So yeah, I think it's just a chump and they go to 1, right? Trample over for 1. Do you have Pinecone Strike maybe? I wonder if they have Pinecone Strike. If you have 4 treasures. Oh, Gundabad Opportunist is a good one. Little 2-for-1 for them. Get an Oin, which does have 3 toughness. Yeah, so I don't kill them this turn. So now I'm going to re-equip the blade. Oh, down to Goblin Town is very nice. Very nice. Down to Goblin Town is really good. We'll see what they have in their hand. The reason this is so good is the Drain 2. It effectively puts them to 3. Oh, they did have a Gandalf Spark Starter. You guys, if you want to learn how to call what's in your opponent's hand, make sure that you are subscribed to Unlimited Splash. Okay, so I want to re-equip this. That brings this down to a 6/6. So if they want to kill it, they have to double block, which they cannot do. Yeah, I like this. Next, in with the team. Feeling good, feeling good. So you cannot kill my army. Looks like you're just dead if you do that. That would be GG. So you probably have to put Owen in front of Beorn. And then we bonk over for 4 trample. And now you're straight up dead on the first Goblin Town trigger, but I'll make a 1/1 just for posterity. All right. Still no goblin, still no dragon for you. Halfling cycling. What are you gonna get? What are you gonna get? All right. GG, GG. Oh, my deck is awesome. My deck is awesome. All right, we made a gem profit. What more can you ask? Need to go 2-0 to get a box from here, or I have one loss to give still. All right, 5-0 though. On to the next one. I think this hand is good. Like I'm missing a second black for this. These hands have been much more awkward. This hand and the last one. I am on the play, and I can do some crowd control with the bent blade, and then I have a threat. I have all the mana required to play Thranduil's Company. If I draw, the moment I draw another swamp, I get to bent blade. Forest, so with the forest, I might slow roll the company and just like play the company plus a land on turn 5. Oh, okay, well, goodbye to my other forest then. All right, well, not the best bent blade you've ever seen, but now we're getting into slightly risky territory because it's like, well, I cannot play my Misty Mountain Raider. I don't know, maybe I should be playing the old dog. Ooh, wish I had a deadly slice for that guy. Oh, Beorn, you are not helping me. I need more ways of actually hitting my land drops, I guess. They probably have a bent blade or a Bilbo's deadly slice or something, but I think I need to just do something, right? It's not like my whole game plan hinges on the Misty Mountain Raid or anything. Now they have access to burn as well. Burn, tree and fern or whatever. They're going to Gnashing of Teeth. Yeah. Yeah, this feels like a pretty losing situation. Oh, hey, Misty Mountain Raider. Yeah, happy to see you here. Let's Beorn it. Beorn it up. There's less removal that kills this, but still plenty. Another Gnashing of Teeth, Bilbo's Deadly Slice, Burn, Tree and Fern. But if they don't have those, then I'm feeling better. Okay, well, you got my Deadly Slice. You did it. Good job. Good job, opponent. If they also have a removal spell... Oh, Snowslope Hunter is so good here. Wow, good job. That's pretty sick. So I definitely need to become the beatdown at this point, right? Chief Warg's Company is pretty awesome. I could go Chief Warg's Company and put the blade onto Beorn, but I think I'm just going to go Warg's Company, attack with Beorn. They could have some double blocking magic, but I get an extra 2/2 out of the deal. They do get to attack with Desolation Prowler, but my goal now, bar nothing, is just make a billion tokens and stick my bent blade on stuff and become the beatdown. Like, teach them that they are not beating me down, I am beating them down. Okay, so we get to kill the Desolation Prowler. The question is, would I rather kill Snowslope Hunter? It seems kind of good. Would I rather kill the Snowslope Hunter? Am I more afraid of card advantage or damage? I actually think Desolation Prowler is not the scariest to me because I think I'm in an attacking mode now. Can you do this at any time? Only during your turn, so you can't like block and do it. That would be busted. Yeah, I think this game is all about damage, so I think let's trade with Desolation Prowler. I think this game is going to come down to damage. I traded way down on mana there, but that's just what Desolation Prowler does. Well, you getting a treasure makes me kind of want to have killed the Snowslope Hunter, right? Oh, Crude Bent Blade. Well, I have an army for just such an occasion. Yep, goodbye to my army. Too bad that I can't, you know, also attack here. And you can equip for free, get a 4/2. You could attack because even if I equip the Bent Blade onto the Raider... Oh, Large Bear. Hello, that's an awesome draw. I think I probably just do it, right? Large Bear and attack. I think I just do it. That's a pretty awesome draw. Yes, I want to get my Warg's Company online, but this is just going to trade for so much value. They pretty much have to block, and this time I'm definitely killing Snowslope Hunter. No questions asked. I mean, they don't get to do a cheeky block where I have to choose what to kill this time. Okay, well, they're keeping their Snowslope Hunter. Yeah, but they only have so much material, right? If they're equipping the bent blade, then I'm really happy. Okay, they're sacking the bent blade. Yeah, they might have gotten a little flooded here, actually. But also, they're a super aggressive deck, I assume, so. All right, Beorn is pretty good, but let's go suit this guy up. I'm gonna do Ward's Company now. Oh, I actually could have put it on the Misty Mountain Raider and attacked with both, but then... No, actually, maybe that would have been good, but I don't know. I don't really want to risk my Mountain Raider in combat. I definitely think I'm winning if this game goes long. Knock on wood. So I think we're very happy to just play it a little bit cool here. Like, I have an entire 5/5 in my hand. There you go. There you go. All right. It's another win in the books. Is my deck awesome? All right. We are currently 6-0. I have a loss to give. Just need to get one more win, and we have another Hobbit Collector Booster Box to add to the collection. And you know what? If I lose, I'll be sad. I'll be sad. But I basically doubled my gems on entry, so can't be too sad. Everyone said my last pool was amazing just because I opened 2 copies of the A+ bomb of the format. I mean, you guys. But this pool you cannot say that about, right? Okay, it's a strong pool. I haven't even seen probably my best card, which is the bear. We literally haven't drawn him. But okay, this hand is sick. I get to just do complete attack against their hand. I would like to draw an untapped land, but even if I can't, okay, there you go. Stony Voice Goblins into Stony Voice Goblins into down down, or vice versa, is a pretty good way of doing some crowd control. And then a crude bent blade for whatever they do play. It's pretty funny. I don't know that it's actually that good, but I do think it's pretty funny. Wouldn't you just hate to be mocked by these goblins? I can see why they make you discard a card. That would be very discouraging to me. All right, the opponent pitched in Uneasy Partings. Okay. Lakeshore Apothecary. All right, that can get bent bladed, but first I think we do a Goblin Town, right? I mean, my other option is... No, there's no other real option. It's just Goblin Town. I want to get this saga running. What do you have? Okay, Bilbo's Deadly Slicer. Oh, okay, I probably just take the Great Gilded Boat and I let them... Because I can't get all of their removal, right? So yeah, I'm just going to make them discard the boat. It's... You know, their hand becomes really awkward if they don't have anything proactive to do. The Lakeshore Apothecary technically does have Vigilance, so they can attack me. I think I might just play Bent Blade next turn and ask if they want to spend some removal on my nothing. My nothing that I have going on. Okay, Golem the Abandoned. Okay. Bonk me for 2. I cannot double spell... Oh, now I can double spell Goblins into Plate Mail. Okay, that actually sounds better, right? That actually sounds better. So let's show you the Goblins. And then my army is going to become a 3/2. They might pitch... They probably pitch Syrup Trouble, but they might actually pitch... I was going to say they might pitch the Enchanted River's Grasp. It's a little unfortunate to invest a lot in a Goblin when they have an Enchanted River's Grasp, but if they just completely empty their hand onto my not very much that I have going on, I don't think that I'm too sad about that. If they attack with the Apothecary, I'm happy to double block. I'm anticipating they might just River's Grasp the Goblin because it's the biggest threat in town right now. Yeah, they did it. I wonder if they have another... I wonder what they drew. I'm wondering if they have another color or if they are just straight up Dimir. So sack him, bring him back. So what I could do is I can double block and then play the Bent Blade and everyone is running on empty. The problem is that my first threat is then going to get hit with a Deadly Slice. There's a good shot that they just sack the Bilbo if I... Or the Goblins... the Golem, sorry, if I play the Bent Blade. How do I feel about that? I just have so many threats in my deck. You know what? The Bent Blade is way better if I have creatures. I think that's kind of the deciding factor. Like, now I get to play a Bent Blade. Oh, hey, Beorn, I was just talking about you, old buddy. So now I can play a Bent Blade, ask them to sack something, go in for 2. So I want to play something other than Beorn. They also could have Ravnica Rats, or Ravenous Rats. They also could have Ravenous Rats. Oh yeah, I can't attack because they sack the Golem. Well, that's fine. So my Beorn could be not long for this world, but I think that's okay. Like, now that I have all these equipment, maybe I can make something enough of a threat that they feel they have to spend their Bilbo's Deadly Slice on it. I guess I'm just concerned about the moment that they draw a chunky creature. Yeah, I was literally just thinking about Golem Silent Slinker, obviously, because it's like the common level 4-drop with a powerful static ability. Yeah, this is super awkward. I mean, the fact that they had so much removal in their hand is definitely a problem for me. But I think let's just suit up one of these guys. I really want to tempt them to spend a Bilbo's Deadly Slice on something that's not my Beorn the Fierce. I also think I think I play the land so that I can move all of my equipment around. But I also want to save it for landfall triggers, and also if they find a way of making me have to discard something. I think I'll hold the land for this turn and put it on there. Because, like, if I find Thranduil or something, I'm really going to wish that I'd held that land. So, yeah, let's just do it this way. This turned into a really interesting game. Okay, we got them to spend it. Okay, that makes me really, really pleased. Yeah, I just wanted to convince them that I was completely out of gas. Maybe spending the land would have been a nice way of persuading them of that. And then if I draw land, I could play Beorn plus play Mill. Yeah, okay. Maybe I actually messed up in that way. But okay, all right. So we'll play Beorn. Maybe I give the... Oh, no, I can't play the Warg as well. So I play Beorn. I will... If I draw a land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is the amount of mana that matters. So I think I actually still hold on to the land. Put this on the Stony Voice Goblins. Then do I attack with the Stony Voice Goblins is the question. I really don't want to get Beorn into combat. If they hit me for 6, though, am I just losing? But then I crack back for 9, so I would have them at 14. They would hit me for 6. They can play their Golem, so I'm effectively at 11. But my Ravening Warg is going to gain me HP subsequently. What does Beorn do on 3? Draw 2 cards. Okay, I'm going to play it cool for a moment. Because I just think... if I really go for the aggro game plan and start attacking, one thing going slightly wrong for me, like them finding an extra like uneasy partings or something, that's all it would take for them to win instead. So we'll see what they've got here. They maybe are having some mana issues, like they didn't get to double spell with their Golem, for example. Attacking with Golem makes perfect sense. I'm just going to straight up take that, go to 9. I assume they have to spend their mana here. Into another Golem the Abandoned. Wow. Okay, so my life is actually looking pretty scary at this point. So let's play Ravening Warg. Go to combat. You know, giving it +2/+2 sounds pretty good. And I'd rather have that one in combat than Chief Warg's Company. So I go to combat. Beorn is going to buff Ravening Warg, and then I think I get to draw 2 cards, right? So next... buff this guy, draw 2. Pinecone Strike, that's a really good one. So now I probably just attack with Beorn the Fierce. Because I can just Pinecone Strike something that they block with. If they block with Front Porch Sentries... Oh, they actually cannot block with Golem the Abandoned, so... I think this is good, and I'm going to Pinecone Strike the Golem, block 2 creatures. Am I going to die if I do that? Pinecone Strike the Golem, block 2 creatures... Take 2. I'm just worried about them looping Golems in a way that's really dangerous to my health. Take 2. Bring back 2 Golems. So worst case scenario, I'm thinking, is they hit me with the Golem. Bring back a Golem by sacking this Golem. Play the Golem. Sack it to bring it back. But that takes a whole extra 2 mana. So I don't think they can do that. They probably have to take here. You know, the other thing that... Oh, you know what? Pinecone Strike actually exiles a Golem. So maybe it's better to hit their Golem with my Pinecone Strike. Yeah, no. I'm going to go land, put the Crude Bent Blade on Stony Voice Goblins so that they can't kill it with the Front Porch Sentries, hold up a Pinecone Strike, and... Hopefully we've maintained enough life. I should be able to kill them next turn if they Alpha Strike. And I don't think we're just dead to an Alpha Strike, even if they have a removal spell. Oh, that's a removal spell, right? That you just ripped off the top. So I probably am going to sack the Stony Voice Goblins. You're going to take 10 damage. No, because I can re-equip the Crude Bent Blade. Okay, I think I see where this is going. I'm not going to sack Beorn. He's too much power and toughness. So resolve, sack the Stony Voice Goblins, even though it's a blocker. Pass. I wonder what they're going to do. What would I do in their shoes? It's actually hard to even think about. Yeah, Golem, that's a disciplined attack. And I can't just kill them on the crackback. But I can start gaining HP. I think that's a very disciplined attack. They maybe had a signal that I had Pinecone Strike when I left up exactly 2 mana. But I think you just kind of have to go for it. So what can I do here? So I can put the Bent Blade on the Ravening Warg in with both. 1, 2, and then play a Beorn. Does that sound good? In with both, putting me to 9. They're representing a possible 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. But it costs all of their mana to bring back Golem. I know I'm being extra careful, but this is about an $800 game of Magic potentially, so I don't think I want to risk my Beorn here. So I'm going to play a land. I'm going to play a different Beorn. Actually, no. 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 So I want to do this so that I can start getting drawing online and life gain. Put this on the Chief Orcs Company, draw 2 cards. Oh, Large Bear is a nice one, right? In with the Ravening Warg, certainly. The question is only do I attack with Beorn, and I'm leaning no. Yeah, I don't feel motivated to do that. In with the Ravening Warg, gain 2. So next turn, I'm really representing lethal, right? All right. That does shut down my life gain. I guess that's a little unfortunate for me. This guy has Death Touch, so I do kill everything. All right. There we go. Wow. What an event. That'll do it, my friends. That's another Hobbit Collector booster box. I'm gonna do a bit of deck tech, but I want to show you like my my runs so far. So I had, while I was on my trip when I wasn't really able to record videos, I did 2 0-2 runs, which were just terrible, and then I did a 2-2 run, and then I just went 7-0 in the last 2. So I you know, you shouldn't think that I have a perfect record of 7-0s, but my performance in this event currently is sitting at a 15-6 wins to losses. I just want to show that because it's not healthy if people are only posting wins day after day, because the reality is most of the time you are not going to win in events like this. I just got, you know, lucky, and I think did some things that set me up to win in the last 2 events. So anyways, just some quick deck tech. Let's see what we think about this. So you know what? It's absolutely official, everybody. Beorn is the new Hungry Graphalon. Beorn is the Hungry Graphalon / Earth Rumble Wrestlers of Hobbit. I mean, Beorn was a little awkward. It's like playing additional land ability was not super relevant a lot of the time, although it really just kind of sucked in the last few games. In the first bunch of games, we actually did see a lot of stuff to do with my Down in the Valley Thrors map Beorn key core of the deck. I want to say 2 things about that. The first is, this is actually a way that I build sealed. I look at cards that I have a whole bunch of, and I think if my deck could do that consistently, would it be good? Or what would make it good? And then I build a deck such that I'm making the most of that engine. And in this case, I judged that it would probably be good, and I think it absolutely was. Felt like the deck almost never ran out of gas. There was only like 1 game where I felt like I just kind of ran out of stuff to do. Another like mini engine, which I drew all in 1 game last game, was the Stony Voice Goblins down to Goblin Town, just attacking their hand. And then just being able to always play a bomb. Like the Beorn soaked up so much removal. We even managed to make a Stony Voice Goblin soak up some removal in that last game, which our opponent, like, no shade to them, they had no way of knowing what was in my hand, and eventually you just get itchy and you just feel like you should fire off your removal. But you know, I think we lined things up correctly to give them that impression, and it really paid off by clearing the way for our bigger stuff. Large Bear was super sweet. The removal engine, or the removal pieces, were totally essential. All of this removal, I mean, it would have been a totally different game if they had played that gilded ship or whatever it is and just been attacking and spitting out little tokens the whole time. Not super impressed by Night Howl Pursuer in this deck. I think maybe I should not have been playing this. But Chief Warg actually did totally impress me. That was basically another bomb. Nighthall Pursuer is great in general, don't get me wrong, but and then Ravening Warg, I mean, this was probably the situation in which you are doing the Warg thing, the power 4 or greater thing, and it actually is good because it's a ramp deck. So closing thought, the second thing I said, two things about, you know, about the core synergy. The other thing is I made a video about this type of deck, Golgari midrange, which I called Golgari Get There, when your pool is not obviously the best. And you just try to consistently play absolute beaters, and usually you're pairing just big chunky creatures with tons of removal. And a lot of the time in Arena Directs, I found that's just a nice place to land if you don't have a great aggro deck, don't have a great synergy deck, and you don't have like the main top bombs in the format. Of course, we had, you know, Beorn is a top bomb. Chief Warg's Company is very solid. But that's kind of the end of the list of what we had. And instead, we just made do with all these different pieces and got them into some kind of synergy. The last thing I'll say is I spent a long time, maybe like 15 minutes off camera, thinking about how exactly I wanted to do my mana base, went back and forth with tons of different builds, and eventually decided I did want to have the island in addition to splashing the mountain. And I think that was a great decision. Therian Duelist Company absolutely earned its place, usually just soaking up removal, but that's fine. I never was struggling with types of mana, except like for a few turns there where maybe I had like a Misty Mountains Raider stuck in my hand, but that was more number of lands because in that game I also had 2 Beorns stuck in my hand. So I feel like the mana went really, really well. Definitely an unlimited splash, but one that got there and won us another Hobbit collector booster. So I guess tomorrow, you know, I might drop another chunk of money on gems and see if I can go 3 for 3. But now that I won a box, I think I might turn to Splash Champs. We have an exciting lineup of Splash Champs, which is our series where a viewer plays for a box and I commentate. And I think maybe I'll just jump right into those. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see. And also, if you want to be on Splash Champs, I actually, at this moment, have space for one more person. First come, first serve. DM me and DM me on Discord. And actually, maybe I've opened up another slot by not having any gems left. Because 2 collector boosters is a pretty good run. Not sure how many more of these directs I want to do personally. So, all right, until tomorrow, have tons of fun playing Magic. And don't be afraid to ramp with Beorn.